Hey everybody, what is going on? Hexlex here. Got another Master Duel video for you, coming at you with some more Mathmech. This is a deck that I am quite fond of, and honestly, when it comes to laddering, if I'm just kind of doing it on my own time and not looking to get games for a video, this is actually kind of the default deck I like to go to, because it's a deck I've been playing a lot, ever since Circular came out. I've been somewhat of a Mathmech main. I love that this deck has the ability to play so many hand traps. I actually feel like this deck is really good at going second, and it's one of the reasons why I thoroughly enjoy playing it. But we actually do have a new addition to the Mathmech deck this time around. Not too often that an established meta deck like this will get a singular new addition, but we have Enigmaster Packbit joining our Mathmech deck. And what this has replaced in the extra deck for me is the, if I can spell it right, here, let's go, Mirror. Here it is, Mirror Logic Aggregator. So previously we have played this card in Mathmech as sort of a slow negate to use off of the effect of none other than Neo Tempest Terahertz, which of course can dump any cyber sponsor from the deck or extra deck. Aggregator, when sent to the graveyard, negates the effect of a face-up card in the field. The reason I call it a slow negate is because if your opponent is, let's say, normal summoning a monster and trying to use that monster's effect that, triggers when it's normal summoned, it's not like you can just simply chain the Terahertz and then, get the negate right away, right? The negate's going to be on the next chain link. So it could be good for stuff like monsters that have activated spell speed 1 effects while on the field. It could be good for like field and continuous spells that have activated effects effects that are activated after they're already on the field, right? So Enigmaster Packbit offers a little bit of a different kind of disruption. Rather than trying to get a negate in, the Packbit, by discarding a card, can put a face-up monster the opponent controls into their spell and trap zone as a continuous trap card. So basically, this is triggered not only when the card is Synchro summoned, but also when it is sent to the graveyard. That can be by any means, just says or sent to the graveyard. So if you dump it with Terahertz, you do indeed get to put one of your opponent's monsters into the spell trap zone, which, as we've seen from Sekai, is an incredibly powerful form of disruption. The ability to keep a monster out of the graveyard, even out of the banished pile. There are a number of cards that actually want to be banished, like Kashira, right? Kashira in particular is like a deck where, Birth can bring stuff back from graveyard or banish, so a lot of the time it can be hard to kind of win a grind game, but Packbit, by putting stuff in the spell trap zone, keeps it from being revived or, again, proccing a lot of effects. One interesting thing to note is that it does put it in there as a continuous trap card. This does actually matter, right? For example, the Centurion cards can activate their effects when they're in the spell and trap zone as a continuous trap card. I don't believe it matters if they get put there by their own effect or Enigmaster Packbit. They'll still be able to use their effect. But on the other hand, there are some decks, like, I'm actually trying to think if Snake Eye actually cares about their stuff being spells in the spell and trap zone. I have to read Flamberge. What does Flamberge say? That is treated as a continuous spell card. So yeah, if you shove a monster into the back row with Packbit against Sekai, they won't be able to pull it out with the Flamberge Dragon, because this can only pull out a monster that's treated as a continuous spell. And again, the Packbit will treat it as a continuous trap card. Something to definitely note, especially as, more and more of these types of effects of putting monsters in the spell trap zone are seeming to be, they're seeming to be more and more used in recent Yu-Gi-Oh!, which I think is interesting. I think it's a cool design space. For removal and also for like deck design, like again Centurion caring about their stuff being continuous trap cards. So also, as an aside, I just love the visual design of this card. It's very Mega Man Battle Network, right? Megaman.exe. So very, very eager to put this card in. Another reason why I think this card is definitely better than Mirror Logic Aggregator, besides the fact that, it's a kind of removal that you can use whenever you want, as opposed to a slow negate, which is more situational. You can actually like summon this card, which Mirror Logic Aggregator being a rank 9, we don't really have a way to summon it at all on Mathmech, but Enigmaster Packbit is a level 8 Synchro, and this can be easy to forget sometimes when playing Mathmech, but a number of our cards, including Sigma here, are tuners, right? I think, is Sigma the only one? No, Diameter's a tuner as well, right? Yeah. So we actually do play level 4 tuners, and of course we play level 4 non-tuners. So in a grind game, in theory, you could actually summon this if you need to, or if you like really need to out a monster that like specifically can't be destroyed or something. You could go for the Ending Master Packbit via the Synchro summon there, which is cool. So to get again the pushing a card into the spell trap zone effect, as well as a 2900 body. So let's see. Yeah, honestly, aside from that, the build is, I think, actually exactly the same as the last season. Mathmech, I mean, I just really think it's a very solved deck, right? The extra deck, you always play like the same 13 cards, right? Which is basically everything you see here except for Ending Master Packbit and the second Splash Mage are kind of the optional spots in the extra deck. As always, well, not as always, but as always recently, within the last couple of months, I am loving the second Splash Mage. There are a ton of times, not a ton of times, but every now and then, like, you'll be in a situation where you got interrupted when you made the first Splash Mage, but before you went into Transcode Talker. And if that's the case, if you don't play second Splash Mage, it can often be very, very difficult to recover, as the only real way to make plays after that is to make Transcode with 3 effect monsters, which is not always very easy to do, right? So I'm loving the second Splash Mage. You could play, you know, the Singularity. I haven't been on the Firewall Dragon Singularity in quite some time, but it is still a very fine addition to the extra deck if you want to get some more bounces for an extended combo line there. And of course, there is also like stuff like, again, the Mirror Logic Aggregator and Packbit. You could also just play, like, again, if you want to play Singularity and 2 Splash Mage, that is definitely valid. It's fine to only have the D-Save Worm as the card that really wants to be sent specifically off of Terahertz, because a lot of the time with Terahertz, you'll be sending, like, Diameter during your turn to set up your Super Factorial, or Dotscaper to go into, like, a Heat Soul or something, so it's really not that big of a deal. And honestly, you know, as much as I do like the idea of playing Packbit, I played like over 50 games of Mathmech with this in it, and actually, has it been 50? I think it's actually been closer to 30. But anyway, I've played a significant number of games with Ending Master Packbit, and I've actually not had a time where it's come up, really. Not even just summoning it, but also even sending it off of Terahertz. I really, really wanted to get a game for the replays here, where I actually use the new card, but it just doesn't really come up organically that often at all. Which, to be fair, neither does Mirror Logic Aggregator. That doesn't mean it's bad, it just means that, yeah, it's a pretty, what's the word I'm looking for? Not vague, not nuanced, but it's a pretty situational slot in the extra deck there. So, all right, let's go ahead and just break this list down card by card, and then we'll watch some replays. So we're on 3 Effect Veiler, 1 Dotscaper, 3 Maxi, 3 Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, 1 Firewall Guardian, 1 Mathmech Sigma, 1 Mathmech Addition, 1 Mathmech Subtraction, 1 Mathmech Multiplication, 1 Mathmech Diameter, 3 Mathmech Circular, 3 Firewall Defensor, 2 Parallel Exceed, 1 Nibiru the Primal Being, 2 Synapse Mining, 1 Mathmech Equation, 2 Triple Tactics Talent, 3 Small World, 2 Called by the Grave, 1 Cross-Out Designator, 3 Infinite Permanents, and then finally 1 Mathmech Super Factorial. That's going to do it for our main deck. For the extra deck, we are on 1 Cybersty Save Worm, 1 Enigmister Packbit, 1 Prime Mathmech Location, 1 Prime Mathmech Almbertian, 1 Salmon Grey Almirage, 1 Ling Garibo, 1 Link Decoder, 1 Update Jammer, 2 Splash Mage, 1 G-Golem Crystal Heart, 1 Transcode Talker, 1 Decode Talker Heat Soul, 1 Access Code Talker, and then finally 1 Firewall Dragon Dark Fluid, Neo, Tempest, Terahertz. That'll do it for the list. Let's go ahead and check out these games. Alright, our first opponent's going to be on Hero. I actually don't remember this game off the top of my head, but it seems like a very back and forth duel. It was 6 turns, so, well, it's either going to be back and forth, right, or it's going to be one of those games where we both have dead hands. Alright, we're taking the second turn here. Our hand's actually looking not bad at all here. Got a couple of Veilers, the Small World to go into plays, and the Parallel Exceed, most importantly. Okay, opponent's going to lead with the Hero Lives for Stratos. I've got 2 Veilers, so I'm just going to toss the first one out here against the Stratos. Opponent leads with the Call By, though, which means now I have to chain the second Veiler in response, right? Because, of course, Effect Veiler is going to be negated for the rest of the turn. However, I will say that the Veiler on the Stratos is not bad. I mean, I don't know the choke point for Hero off the top of my head, but it's kind of one of those decks that has the possibility of just having a million extenders, right? So I feel like getting it in early tends to be a little bit better. Okay, here's the Predaplant Vert Anaconda, sending the Fusion Destiny. Going for the DPE. This is pretty good news for me because it means he won't be able to summon for the rest of the turn. So, yep, they're just going to set a card and then pass. I'm really digging the song, by the way. Let me know if y'all want me to, like, switch up the boards. I've been on this one, the Revived Sky Temple, because I really like the song that's attached to it, but I'd be happy to take requests as well. So they're going to max C in response to Small World, which is pretty smart because it means that they are trying to get in before the Ash Blossom. So here, interestingly enough, with the draw 2 off the triple attack, I drew a couple of hand traps, which makes me feel a lot better about not playing into max C. I was actually kind of debating just going for it, right? But, yeah, now that I have Ash Blossom and Imperm, and given how little resources they have, I mean, they have Mali and Denier, sure, but, yeah, I'm just going to sit on the Ash Blossom and Imperm. Should be enough to get me through their turn, and then I can go off while I'm not under max C. So, if they're going for the Cross Crusader, I'm going to Imperm that. Gonna chain DPE, that should be fine. I mean, even if they pop Cross Crusader, that's definitely okay with me. So they do get back the Denier, but now they're just gonna link it off with the DPE, which I thought was a little odd. For another Cross Crusader. They're really trying to combo off with that, but when they go to Mali here, I'm going to use the Ash Blossom, because I know what they're really looking to do is use this effect of Cross Crusader, right? True to Destiny Hero Monster, add Hero Monster, different name. Granted, I guess I could have let them special Mali and then activated this, but, I mean, while they're on a 60-card build, so this isn't likely, this does kind of give them the chance to, like, top deck Mali, which would be a brick. I mean, the other one is just kind of sitting uselessly in the deck right now, right? Because the Denier's already been used this turn, so, and this one's banished. I definitely don't want them searching that hero either way, though. Yeah, so now they have to just move to battle, swing into me for 2100. That's definitely fine. And, ooh, Thrust is going to be their last card. Just at the Different Dimension Ground. Wow, I actually forgot about that. The fact that they had little bit of a, I don't know, you can't really call this a floodgate, I guess, because it's just a lingering effect normal trap card, but it's like the normal trap card version of Macro, which kind of makes sense because it's a hero deck playing it. And, you know, they want their stuff to go to the graveyard. The ground here only lasts for the one turn. I was still surprised to see this. I guess, to be fair, there's not really many good... What else? Isn't there, like, Favorite Contact? I was gonna say there's not a good hero target for a normal trap card for Thrust, but I think there is, actually. Anyway. Actually, funnily enough, because we drew another Imperm, I'm totally willing to just pass here, because it's totally going to rely on their top deck, if they can even do anything. Yeah, and even if they can't, I've got the Imperm here. Of course, going to set it across on the other face down card. And now we should be good to go. We're not under DD Ground, we're not under Maxi. We can do something about this other back row, so I'm just going to fire off the Circular here, send the Sigma. Almost forgot to activate Imperm, so I'm going to do that before the Circular hits the field here, using it, of course, on the Cross Crusader to negate. Alright, Sigma F, and they're just going to concede there, because now they know they can't stop the Mathmech combo, and the OTK is very inevitable, especially with that Predaplant Vert Anaconda in attack mode there. Alright, there's the first duel. Let's go ahead and check out the next one. Okay, so this next game is going to be against Fire King Snake Eye, and this one's going to be... I should have started with this one, because usually I like to start with the, you know, this is a typical turn 1 combo line, but we're going to kind of do that for the second game instead here. I guess more than typical, this will actually be a kind of full combo line. We're even going to lead with the Small World for the Ash Blossom. Getting rid of the extra, what was it in there that we had in hand? Oh, Defensor, yeah, because we already had the Firewall Guardian in hand. So, if you open a hand where you already have, like, Circular or access to it, I would always recommend using an extra Small World for the Ash Blossom, as Maxi is definitely the hand trap that hurts this deck by far the most. So, I'm going to follow up with the Circular, sending the Sigma, Circular F. Well, actually, not just yet. I'm going to actually Signet Mining for the Diameter. That way I can normal summon the Diameter, and then Circular F, Chainlink 1, Diameter F, Chainlink 2. And more than just chain blocking the Circular, this will actually enable me to have an Omni-Negate through the rest of my opponent's turn. They did actually have the Maxi there, so we're just going to Ash Blossom there, because we searched for it. This is why, during the Hand Trap Guide, I advise always chaining Maxi to Small World in general, but especially, I mean, against Mathmech. But I mean, a lot of the time, Mathmech will just lead with Small World. If you see Small World, generally it's either Mathmech or a weird combo deck. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to leave this Almbertian on the field, actually for this entire turn. That way we'll have the Omni Negate up and they can't surprise us with like a Nibiru during the end phase, or the end of the main phase, rather. Bring it back to Firewall Guardian, we're going to link that off. Which is actually very nice because I don't think we've used Firewall Guardian's effect yet, because yeah, we discarded it for Synapse Mining, so we're able to bring it back there. Throwing out the edition. Definitely want that Mathmech edition in the graveyard because that's our third Mathmech, because Sigma got banished because we brought it back with its own effect. So transcode, bringing that. Splash Mage back, gonna then go into our Terahertz. Then their Link Decoder is going to come back. Terahertz F, we can send off the D-Save Worm. Even if I didn't have that extra Firewall Guardian summon, that extra body though, I could have still ended on the Heat Soul as well. I would just had to have sent the Dotscaper. Although I actually banished Dotscaper off of Small World, didn't I? So in this particular situation, yeah, I wouldn't have been able to, but in general, that's what you would do if you need an extra body here. But so yeah, that hand there, we got to Small World for Ash Blossom and still have the full setup with the Almbertian going through the whole turn with the Omni Negate up as well as Terahertz plus Heat Soul. Anyway, they're going to Bonfire for Poplar, especially the Poplar here. I wondered if it was Rescue Ace for a moment here because they're the ones who usually Bonfire directly for Poplar, but then I also kind of figured that, you know, it could still be a Snake Eye variant trying to just bait my responses here, but I'm going to go ahead and fire off the Super Factorial now, actually, because I know they have OSS in hand, right? And this will leave them without any face-up cards to use the OSS with. Of course, we saved the D-Save Worm for when we activated Super Factorial, because they always have the call-by for it. Just assume they always have the call-by for it, honestly. So definitely don't like firing off that Super Factorial without the D-Save Worm in the graveyard. And of course, even if they can manage to get another face-up monster, or card in general, on the field for the OSS, we have the Omni Negate of the Laplacian as well. We signed an Ulcanix from their hand, which of course does tell us they're on Fire King. And looks like that second Ulcanix is not really going to do too much. I think they had two other cards in hand. One was OSS, and I'm assuming the other one wasn't a fire monster. So, I mean, even if they had OSS for Snake Eye Ash, it's like they can add Poplar, but they can't special it. They could go for Oak. Well, I mean, they go for Ponix, right? You would go for Ponix and then Sanctuary and then Island and then Pop and then Garunix. Yeah, that's definitely what you would do in the Fire King variant. But as I said before, we are able to stop them from establishing any of that. So got at least one more game. We might watch a couple. Actually, I think it is going to be one more duel here, and then we'll finish off. So let's check that out. All right, so here we're going to be up against a 60-card pile of Naturia, Horus, and Centurion. I was going to say kind of like the build that I played, but the build itself is definitely very different. Also noticed, just from the name and the icon Blaze here, I wonder if this is Blaze from the stream chats, because I feel like you used to use that icon, or used that icon rather, when we would play like viewer duels and stuff. So chaining the Maxi here to trade in to try to, you know, dodge the Ash Blossom, but they already had it in hand anyway. Kind of unlucky for them to have it in a 60-card deck, but I mean, it'll happen sometimes. It's not that big of a deal. I always see that sometimes where it's like, oh, how do they open a hand trap and a starter in a 60-card deck? And it's like, I don't know, they probably ratioed their deck well. Like, that's probably the answer. I feel like people will complain about whatever a 60-card deck opens, no matter what it actually is, just because it's like, oh, well, it's 60 cards, so it should be statistically unlikely for them to open the thing I don't want them to open. It's like, that's not how that works, but okay. So... but anyway, Nat Beast coming down here. Really only going to hurt the Equation that's in hand, but looking at the rest of our hand, we're not going to need Equation 100% to combo off here. So, Nat Beast, Little Knight, and then of course there is also the Mole Cricket that is in the yard as well. So, I'm going to leave with the Subtraction on the SP Little Knight, move to Battle Phase, only to remember that I can't actually battle with Subtraction. If I just normal summon Diameter and then move to Battle Phase, it would have been good here. So, oops. Misplay on my part, a pretty big one at that, as, you know, we are going to have to deal with the Little Knight here. So, I'm going to chain the Maxi to the Mole Cricket to see if I can get some more, what is the word I'm looking for? Some more, outs, extension and or and all of the above. I'm going to negate the Little Knight with the Diameter effect on the Alm version here, drawing an Effect Veiler and searching the Circular here. So Circular, going to bin that Sigma from the deck. Sigma F going to do special. That will of course proc the Circular F to add the Super Factorial, which should definitely come in handy in a situation like this. Mole Cricket going to get fired off here, as well as Nibiru on the Chain Link 2. Very, very good chain setup here. That means that the Nib will, of course, clear the board, and then Mole Cricket will follow. And I will still control the monster with the strongest attack, which means that they can still summon, yep, the Camellia and Sunflower. But very, very glad we have the Max C up for a situation like this, because we got a ton of draws off of it. And also, the Nap Beast is no longer in play, meaning we can now go for spells. Gonna go for the Parallel Exceed here, because what I'm gonna want to do is equation back one of my Cybers monsters, or Mathmech monsters specifically. Camellia F gets to bring back Nat Beast here, but we've already used our spells, so it's not a big deal. Linking off the subtraction, going for the Lingaribo. I then get to activate the Parallel Exceed effect. This will predictably trigger the Sunflower here to negate and destroy it, but I say but I don't know if I actually have a follow-up point to that. I think I should have just, yeah, not activated Parallel Exceed there, or gone for the Lingaribo. Yeah, I definitely should have just not gone for it. So, first action during the main phase is the Synchro Summon of Barkion. Going to present a bit of a problem for my Super Factorial. Also, that Naturia Vein not helping anything out either. I believe that's any spell or trap card negate. Similar to Sunflower, yep. It's actually going to get synchroed off, however, with the Nibiru the Primal Being going for the Centurion Legatia. Legatia going to try to pop the Nib token here, however, I have Ash Blossom to stop it. And this is actually really good for me, because now it means they don't have a clean way over the Nib token. So now they have to sync away the Barkion with the Camellia to go for the Baron de Fleur to try to get over it, right? However, this means that now there's only one negate to stop my two trap cards, one of which is going to be the Imperm on the negate that would stop my Super Factorial anyway. So we are definitely looking good here. Blasting is going to get chained to the Imperm, but it's too late for Barkion to be able to come back and do anything effective here. Sunflower is coming back instead. That's actually fine, though, because then I can simply use the Diameter negate on the Sunflower effect. Would actually be beneficial for me, because that means the Nappies will no longer be on the field for me to have to deal with. I'll bring out Laplation in defense mode, because everything on the field they can attack with has higher attack anyway, so yep. There goes the Sunflower F, gonna chain the Diameter effect to negate. Because that's actually not once per turn, which is kind of surprising, because didn't I already use it on Alimbertion? It's a soft once per turn. Wait, you can only use each effect of... Oh, but it gives the Xyz monster that effect. So this is not the effect of Mathmech Diameter. It is the soft once per turn effect of Alimbertion and Laplation, respectively. I wonder if they thought I wasn't going to be able to do the negate again. Alright, so Laplation getting battled over, but we still have our huge Nib token. Actually, we're not going to have it, because it looks like Legatia is going to get overlaid here for the Typhone. Typhone F indeed getting rid of that Nib token. It's also why Molkery got normal summoned first, so... I'm going to draw for a turn here. Veiler's not the best draw, so... I threatened to go to battle phase, that's why Molkery's getting activated here. But that's just going to summon one more Molkery from the deck. I was going to say, it seems like all the Naturia stuff is out of the deck at this point, so now I'm going to go for the Splash Mage with Defensor. Molkery can come back, that's fine, because it's already used its effect, and again, I think there's no more targets left in deck anyway, so... there's the Guardian, Splash Mage bringing back the Subtraction, going to link off the Firewall Guardian for Link Decoder, I imagine. We do actually need to go for an Update Jammer OTK, so maybe I should have just done that. Oh no, but I can bring back the Guardian anyway, so it actually doesn't matter. Yeah, okay. I guess, oh yeah, because I have Multiplication in my hand anyway, so... And also they have monsters all in defense mode, so yeah. Terahertz, which we've already made, by the way. Extra not in OTK for like 8 different reasons. Oh wait, I thought we already made Terahertz, never mind. I'm getting my games mixed up. This game's been going on for so long, you know, at this point. What am I... Did I not... am I not making update jammer access code here? Surely there must be a reason why I didn't do that. I can't think of what it would be, though. Because I had Subtraction and Guardian up at the same time as the... Yeah, I should have been able to. Weird. Okay, well, I don't know what was up with that, but... Guess we're gonna just battle over the board. Smack them with the Crystal Heart and Transcode as well before linking off into Heat Soul, looks like. There must have been some reason, like something I overlooked while watching the replay back here, why I didn't just update jammer access code OTK there, but I mean, we have a Veiler, we have a D-Save Worm, we have the Monster and Spell Trap Negate, so, I mean, and a Maxi now too. Yeah, there's nothing really that could get top decked here that would save Blaze here. So yep, that's gonna be it for this game, looks like. GG's Blaze if you're out there and watching, and that was indeed you. I mean, GG either way, even if it was a different Blaze. Was it a very, very good duel there. Alright, that is actually going to do it for these Mathmech games. Thank you for checking this video out. Got lots of Synchro summoning planned, I think, for the next few videos here. I've already been practicing with one Synchro-based deck I've never played on the channel before, and then... definitely have plans to play another Synchro-based deck I never played on the channel before. But anyway, that'll be for future videos. For now, I'm peacing out and moving on to the outro. Hey everybody, Hexlex here. Just want to give you a huge thanks for watching all the way to the very end of the video. Believe it or not, that is actually one of the best ways that you can support the channel, is by watching the videos in their entirety. But there are many ways in which you can support the channel if you are so interested. The names that you're seeing on screen here, I gotta give an extra special thanks to, because these are people who have chosen to either become a member on YouTube, which if you're interested you can do as well via the join button next to the subscribe button down there, or have signed up over on Patreon and become members there. Link to that is going to be in the description below. Without the support that is being offered by, again, all the people that you're seeing on screen right here, I would not be able to take the time to dedicate to uploading daily YouTube videos. So thank you so very much. But there are also other ways you can support as well. Again, link to the description below. If you like my deck tracker that you'll see in a lot of my videos, the Untapped Companion, you can download that for free, and if you use my affiliate link down there, then that also goes a long way towards supporting the channel. That's, again, free. So is subscribing here on YouTube. That's also free and a huge way to support. You can also check out Twitch, once again linked in the description below. Following and subscribing over there will not only support as well, but also give you notifications of when I go live if you want to catch some of the live streams. But really, no matter how you choose to support, it all adds up, and it all definitely means the world. So thank you, each and every one of you. For now, this is Hexlex. I'm going to be signing out. But more than that, I'm hoping that you have a fantastic day.